I will just start with the first speaker, and I think this will be Bart. The floor is yours.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bart. I'm one of the co-founders of BeeSmartCity. First of all, I want to thank you to welcome BeeSmartCity to the U4SSC family. It was a really warm welcome. As an independent global smart city network and community with over 30,000 experts from 170 countries and an overview of 650 successful implemented smart sustainable solution in more than 1,000 cities, we are happy to accelerate the transformation of the places we called home to a more livable, prosperous and sustainable place, because that's what Smart City is about. The idea of BeeSmartCity was born in 2014 at Harvard, where we interviewed cities around the world and find out that cities want to learn from each other and share best practices globally. It is not necessary to reinvent the wheel. Adoption is a key of efficiency. 2016, the three co-founders of BeeSmartCity, Alex, PhD in astrophysics, Tom, who worked 15 years in the public sector, and me, finally decided to form the global BeeSmartCity network. We hiked in the Himalaya mountain, and we don't know whether it was the spirit of Nepal or maybe the air of the mountain or the altitude. That was a reason that we all quit our jobs. Since Tom has 2 and I have 5 kids, to be honest, and believe me, it was not a very easy decision for us. I still remember our first sentence on our office whiteboard. It says, and it states, "A smile, you are changing the world." So we are happy to share this smile with all UN organizations and cities around the world as a digital community of the United for Smart Sustainable Cities and the family. Let us share best practice and start this collective intelligence and collaboration to accelerate the place we called home to a more smart, sustainable city. For us and of course for our future generations. Be a part, we invite you, and as we said it, be a bee. Thank you. And the stage is yours, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Bart, for the introduction. BeeSmartCity, we're really happy to be part of the U4SSC family now. And I would just briefly like to introduce, as we need to eat the paella, as Christina said already, 2 deliverables that are part of that partnership. One is that we will publish together with the U4SSC network a guideline on the development of smart and sustainable communities, and the other is, of course, the BeeSmartCity platform as a partner network for all stakeholders and involved parties that are active in the U4CC network to collaborate and to share the best practices, as Bart mentioned earlier. First, about the guideline. That goes back actually to a publication that we did with the German federal government based on the assessment of 50 cities in Germany, and we co-published that under the patronage of the German federal government with major public sector publication partners, research institutions, and was a quite huge success, which showed us in the end that although we have been talking about smart cities, as we learned yesterday, for about 20 years already, and maybe the broader adoption in the last 10 years, we still are only reaching the tip of the iceberg. So it's about the advanced cities, the bigger cities. But think about all the cities and communities, because we say smart city doesn't matter what the size is, what the geographical setting is. The concept holds true for every community to employ new methodology and also using technology as an enabler to improve quality of life and to increase sustainability. This is why we did that guide in Germany, and it showed us that a lot of cities have really difficulties in understanding what the concept of a smart and sustainable city really is. And that although we have 20 years of knowledge already, it shows that we need to increase the pressure in terms of sharing that knowledge more. And as you all know, there are kind of 100 definitions of a smart city, and we really need to improve the education of cities as well in many respects. And in Germany, similar to what Okan has already presented in the circular city approach, we also have introduced a three-stage framework or circular strategy to help cities in a very practical way to first assess what the status quo is in the city, to make transparent all the initiatives, whether they're private or public, and then to move forward and say, okay, what is our actual position? What are the big challenges? What are development opportunities? And then in the second step, prioritize based on urgency and relevance, because you have limited budget, you have limited resources and personnel, you have limited talent as well and technological knowledge, to engage then in a process of kind of getting the information of what potential solutions could solve these prioritized challenges that you face, and then to go over the reassessment cycle, as Okan already presented, and to understand smart city development basically as a continuous change process. It's not about implementing two solutions in one vertical or two verticals and then you're a smart city. That's not it. It is a continuous process, not even about competing with other cities. It's more about competing with yourself at any given time and to advance the prosperity and quality of life in the city. This guide was also then published in Poland with different partners, and that was the first time where we also partnered with United Smart Cities, with Kari in that respect. And also, we have been requested by other countries, so we will publish that guide also at the end of the year in Mandarin in Taiwan. And this shows how big the necessity is, basically, to share the educational part, share the strategy guide to help cities in a more broader level to embrace the smart city context. And the last thing is that we have also started, and this is then the first deliverable, a pre-registration for an English version that we're happy to do together with the U4 SSC. Because essentially the global partnership with the U4 SSC helps us to disseminate that knowledge to a very, very broad level of cities and communities around the globe. And so we will include in the upcoming guide then also the SDGs and the UN KPI framework. And it is also planned after the English edition to really reach the bottom level in all the cities and communities to publish that guide in different languages, as we have started in Poland and Taiwan and Germany as kind of national guides, because often you face language barriers in different countries, so it's hugely important to adapt. And also in November, we're happy to present the guide or pre-announce it also at the Smart City Expo World Congress in Barcelona. So we will all be back, I think, in Spain at that time. The key questions addressed really basically and practically in that guide is really, what is a smart, sustainable city? What are key success factors? So what are the lessons learned out of 10 years of smart city development in the past? What is the systematic strategy approach that cities can take on, and based on that, how can they advance? So the guideline actually is kind of a pre-educational thing, a sensibilization, I would say, for cities and communities that is directly then connected with the phase of analysis, KPI analysis, to help form that strategy. And then the second deliverable actually is bringing in on the implementation side the knowledge about solutions that are available globally and that have successfully been implemented in cities around the globe, which is the BeeSmartCity platform as a tool for the U4 SSC. So by now, as Bart indicated, we're, I would say, the largest platform that is solution-oriented in terms of fulfilling our mission to accelerate smart and sustainable communities. With 13K members globally, Currently, it's more than 650 solutions already on the platform that you can really look through. It's free of charge, so I will invite you all to share your solutions, but also identify new solutions on the platform. These solutions have been implemented in more than 1,000 cities around the globe already. So I think if you look to all the different cities, you will find new methods, new solutions in any place. So there's never a point where you can say, I know it all, because new technology is evolving, others are taking different approaches that might be more efficient, so it's always helpful to broaden the horizon and look beyond your own city border, look beyond your region or your country, because the essential elements of all these concepts can be adapted to the local needs. As we all know, there is no blueprint, but adaptation is a huge potential to effectively really implement solutions and to save a lot of taxpayers' money in that respect by trying to reinvent the wheel. Our geographical coverage, because we're based in Europe, of course, is nearly 50% in Europe, but also in Americas and Middle East. We have 35% public sector members on the platform. 60% are solution providers, from startup to big corporations. And also one aspect which is hugely important from our perspective for the future is getting into the citizen level. So currently we have 5% of the members, as we call them, smartivists, like engaged individuals that want to improve their own city, to learn more, also to support the government with new ideas and sharing ideas and encouraging them to act. And the important aspect that is based on the solutions, we can form a communication and then sharing experience among each other, which forms a strong community where all the different actors can connect to each other and really, for the operational level, share the lessons learned, because that is what at most conferences in the last years have been also, let's say, the outcomes and conclusions. We have talked very long about the meta challenges, but then at the city level, the people say, okay, how did they do it? What exactly did they do? And this is what we need to share, basically, and that's what the platform is for. So I will not go through the platform. You can all log in, register, and explore it yourself. We're working with a lot of institutions globally. We will add the U4SSC logo in the next step, of course. Then also really from the city side, associations, the leading events, to form that community. And if you have questions, please approach us. There are a lot of things currently ongoing, and also I would like to invite you, be part of the collective intelligence. Let us share what we know, because together we have the knowledge to fulfill the SDGs in that respect and to make our cities more livable. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you see here a very good example of what is out there that is actually usable immediately. So this is what we want to use and start working on.